Hello and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Cirrus over there. Not a skeleton this week.
Kinda, sorta. Kinda here. Kind of not a skeleton.
Hello?
We'll see.
Oh, god damn it. I have to... I hate doing this live, but we got skeleton fan art.
So we do.
I forgot to set up to show it.
Hello.
Rosina says, I promise I might pass out this time, daddies. Oh, okay, before I get the skeleton thing. Okay, what's that? Is that a hat? Did someone just redeem a hat? Yeah.
Welcome to the hat. It's Stoff's fault.
Got a new hat. Got the tricorn hat. This does not work well with my headphones. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I have a surprise for you guys, but I'm going to set up a goal because YouTube has goals now.
For reasons.
Cirrus knows what the surprise is.
Yeah, so it's not a surprise for me.
But yeah, so if I get 10 super chats of $5 or more, I think, is what I just set up. It was just the default settings. I don't know. But yeah, if I get that, then you guys get a fun surprise. And it is something that many people on both this channel and my main channel have been asking for a very long time. And that's all I'm going to say until you guys give me money. Now I gotta find out where I saved the goddamn art. Okay, here we go. Come on, I double clicked it. Oh, it's on my NAS, so it had to like wait till the hard drive spun up. So Skeleton Cirrus fan art. It's kind of adorable.
I'm dead. I'm gone. I'm not even here anymore. It's my fault.
Rosina, Ice Canopy, Greenhouse, Keller. I get that reference. Says more Rhino feet. Are you a member on my other channel? Because there are more Rhino feet coming, but that's on Friday's video. That's not up yet, unless you're a member.
Hold on. Is it Rhino feet coming, or are other people coming because of Rhino feet? Please don't tell me that I just came.
That's a button that I have.
That feels like that's just... Is that me?
That?
Please don't tell me that I just came.
Yes, that's you.
Please, when the fuck did I say that?
That was on one of our live streams. I found that one accidentally a few weeks ago, remember? I was just like pushing all the buttons, trying to figure out what they were. And then one of them was you saying that, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Fair enough, I guess.
Olivia says, paint me curious. Olivia Williams. She's got 2 out of 10. All right. So, before we get to the main thing, before we even get to the news that we're not covering, I don't really consider this to be news. Someone sent it to me, and I think it's kind of funny. I forget who it was, and I'm not going to go over the article because it's not really like... What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Some weird delay going on today. Okay, hydrate. Yeah. Rhino pushed all the buttons to find out what they were, and one of them made Cirrus come. Indeed. That is what happened. That is an accurate description of what happened.
I've been here the whole time. Please don't tell me that I just came.
The button begs to differ.
You know, it means something completely different depending on who's the target of this particular one, but stop pushing my buttons. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa.
I'm sorry. Okay. Cirrus. On to the not really news enough to be a news item.
Ravi says Cirrus. What am I doing, Ravi? I can barely for context on my end, I can barely read things in Vice Rhino's chat because on Zoom I see like the crispest 240p.
Well, I think what Ravi is, I don't know. If I had to guess, is that because you're using an avatar, I can just make you say whatever and nobody knows whether you said that for real or whether I pushed a button.
I think it's okay. So I think I know what it's what is being referred to, and I was supposed to be in a Sonic onesie the next time I streamed. Of course, very shortly after that, I had the incident
there were extenuating
on my channel.
There were extenuating circumstances.
So you know what? Here, I have a compromise. Allow me one moment to get changed.
I'm not sure I want to know. Yeah. So regarding Cirrus's latest video, that was a very serious and heartfelt, like it was. I don't know. Oh, there we go. That is a good compromise.
This is what I can do for now. But I'm not getting on camera right now.
That's absolutely fine. So yeah. With regards to Cirrus's very serious video that was on his main channel, I told you about this behind the scenes. I watched the video, and it took everything in me not to comment, and I was going to send it as a super thanks too, so that everybody would see it. And I was just going to say, this was extremely difficult to fap to. Not impossible, just difficult. And I was like, I know Cirrus would find that funny, but like, there are going to be people that see that and get angry on his behalf. Because not everybody there knows who I am. We got 3. Karen Tuplin says, haven't been here for a live stream in a while, been falling asleep too early. Hope this donation makes up for it. You know what? It does. And on top of that, we've got a goal right now on YouTube where if I get 7 more super chats of $5 or more, I have a surprise for the channel. And it's one that I'm excited for. I was going to roll it out last week, but I didn't want to do it without Cirrus. So I feel like
it wouldn't have had the same impact.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the news item that I've been trying to get back to for like 10 minutes now. It's not really a news item, but Cirrus, did you know that JD Vance used to play Magic the Gathering?
Yes, I know that he used to play Magic. Wow, my video card just shat itself. That's great. So I do know that he used to play Magic the Gathering, and I also know
his favorite card.
What his favorite card was.
This
and
one.
It's really fucked up. It's Yawgmoth's Bargain.
I was kind of hoping to surprise you with that, but I'm not surprised that you already knew that.
So, fun fact, you don't know anything about the Magic story at all.
I read the news article, so I am aware that that's a dick, like playing that card all the time is a dick move, so the fact that it's his favorite.
So I'm not even worried about that part. Like Yawgmoth's Bargain is a dick card, sure, whatever. That's not the part that is interesting to me. So in the Magic the Gathering lore, Yawgmoth was the original lord of the Magic the Gathering equivalent of the Borg. He was the original guy who managed to discover them and assimilate them into one major hive mind. And he did so by doing some very fucked up things. He was considered Magic the Gathering's main eugenicist for the longest time. So
it's Donald Trump. It's the Donald Trump card.
Yawgmoth's definitely Trump.
And like Vance has been assimilated. He used to be very much anti-Trump, but now he has been assimilated.
Oh. Which actually is what happened in the story with Urza, who was one of the main characters of the story at the time. He got into the Phyrexian arena, and Yawgmoth's influence eventually made Urza try to advocate on the behalf of the Phyrexians, and he had to get beheaded as a result of it. No, Yawgmoth had this whole story arc where he got exiled from a city called Thran, and then started infecting people with a deadly disease, and then he was the only doctor that, quote, knew how to cure the disease, so they had to lift his exile, bring him back. It's just the fucking story of Donald Trump getting an X from the Republican Party and then coming back. It's the same shit, just with a disease called phyresis is the only difference.
Yeah. Progress Only says, my time to transfer from candidate to hopefully elected is coming, but I want to donate to the surprise. Progress Only also emailed me. Apparently they're the only person running for local office that is on the list of FFRF endorsed candidates. So congratulations, but also that's sad. There should be more. We need more.
That you're the only one that's endorsed by the Freedom from Religion Foundation?
Yeah, we need more secular candidates. Because Christianity is just fucking the country up. And then Rosina says, you're rolling out your secret hemipene? If hemipene means what I think hemipene means, I don't think I'm allowed to roll that out on stream.
I mean, it depends. You can roll it out, but it just needs to stay flaccid.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that might still violate the TOS. But I mean, if the bots can't see that that's what it is.
I mean, depending on the shape of it, it might be unrecognizable.
It's just a mushroom.
It's huge.
Everyone says it's a good size.
Everyone says that, except for the people who actually talk about it. But everyone says that. I've shown it to many people. Even when they didn't ask, they were grateful.
Okay. Yeah,
see, I'm allowed to say that, and it's not defamation because he fucking did shit like that.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Do you watch the channel Some More News?
Yes, I do.
Did you see today's video?
No, I did not.
It's 2 hours of recap. This is all the fucked up shit that Trump has done in the last 8 years. And they had to... Okay. I'm going out of order here. So it's a 2-hour video. I've pulled a 2-minute clip from this video. So, here we go.
For all the extremely embarrassing stuff he did over the years, that Jonathan Swan interview, when he bragged/lied about how his building was the tallest building after 9/11, sorry, during 9/11, he said that during it. I know it's technically not as bad as a lot of the other stuff, but the dude was just...
Okay, this is where it starts to take off. I'm just pausing it for the sake of copyright stuff. Don't flag me, copyright bots. It's just 2 minutes from a 2-hour video. I want everybody to go watch the whole fucking video. Because it, like,
so embarrassing. All the fucking photos of Trump giving a thumbs up in incredibly inappropriate places. The other McDonald's photo shoot, when he looked directly at an eclipse after people told him not to. They said, don't look at it, and he looked at it. When he got COVID and tried to walk it off, oh my God, remember his weird hack doctor, the cognitive test stuff, which he's still doing? When he claimed he won Man of the Year, the fake Civil War memorial, thanking himself at Thanksgiving, burying his ex-wife on his golf course?
There's still a minute of this left.
Black jobs! Who knew healthcare was so complicated? The fake Boy Scouts phone call, Lawnmower Boy! When he said that exercise uses up your finite life force? Hiding the USS John McCain, the crowd size at his inauguration, not realizing he was the president of the Virgin Islands. When he'd rip up every paper you gave him. Tim Apple, that taco bowl. Windmills cause cancer. Stable genius. George Washington at the airport, the truck photo, the Hurricane Sharpie incident, how he talked all the time about how his turds were too big, his obsession with schlonging, and Arnold Palmer's schlong, and probably the schlong of the late, great Hannibal Lecter, getting in a fight and losing to a child. There's also that weird flag-hugging thing he does, or when he shakes hands with people in that cartoonishly aggressive way, like he's Bluto trying to f*** with Popeye. For all the
Yeah.
Yay! He's a stable genius.
So there's 2 hours of that, essentially. Like, that was the rapid fire section. Though, like, they go more into depth on some of the more important stuff, like the fact that he's a rapist. Like, not alleged rapist. He is a rapist.
Just is.
Yeah, it's just a thing that he is. And, like, stuff like that. It's depressing. And I hope they never have to make another video like that, because this is like the Hail Mary election is a week away. Please, for the love of God, don't make us talk about this asshole for another 4 years. Although, realistically, with the policies he wants to enact, you won't be allowed to talk negatively about him for the next 4 years or longer.
At that point, do you just consider getting jailed under a Trump administration to be a badge of honor?
Yeah, really. But no, like that's one of the things they go into is just like how he is just a fascist. He is a Nazi. Here are things that he said that are direct quotes from Hitler that he's just repeating. And then he says, I didn't know that Hitler said that. And then they say, well, yeah, Hitler said that. And then he goes up on stage and he says it again. And he says, oh, they get mad at me when I say that because they say Hitler said that. We're like, so why are you still saying it? You can't say you didn't know it anymore. Oh,
did you see what happened on the Young Turks recently with Anna Kasparian and Schenk?
How recent? Because I seem to recall there being a bit of a kerfuffle a few months ago.
There was a kerfuffle like 2 days ago, I want to say, where Schenk kept on. So Schenk made the point that Trump was a fascist, and Anna, newly minted centrist Anna, might I add, went on about how no, he's not a fascist. You call anything you don't like fascist, and Schenk just starts like going through all of the different ways he's a fascist, and then goes, "Do you want me to say wannabe dictator instead of fascist? Because they mean the same thing here." And then her response is, well, did he succeed at any of those things?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He wants to. And he learned from last time that now he has to surround himself with sycophants, whether they're qualified or not. Like, just okay, no, we're going to get into that. The first news article is that we're actually going to cover is Trump is telling us what he would do. Believe him. So, yeah. But the last thing that I wanted to cover that we're not covering, Pat, is I wanted to do this last week, but I saved it for you.
Oh,
so,
boy.
I'm sure you've seen the video. We've all seen the video by now, but I can't not play the video. So here it is.
And when Dad gets home, you know what he says? You've been a bad girl. You've been a bad little girl, and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now. You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
They're just getting off to that. I hope he realizes that.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
Are they getting off to it?
They have to be.
I love that one so much that I have a button for it now.
You've been a bad girl. Please don't tell me that I just came.
Jesus Christ.
You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
It's a vigorous spanking.
It's a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl. Been
Apparently.
a bad girl with that Sonic onesie.
Apparently.
We're still got 43 minutes left for 5 more super chats over on YouTube of $5 or more, and then there's a surprise for the chat.
Rhino is very, very, very anticipatory of
says,
being able to show you his big surprise. I am taking your soundboard away. Is it because he's been a very, very bad girl?
You've been a bad little girl and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. So I just didn't see my new hat last week, so here we go. New hat from last week.
Aw, now you're in a vegetative state.
Technically, a vegetable is only if it comes from the leaf, the stem, or the root. This is the flower, so I have my head in its genitals.
So you're a beautiful flower instead.
Yes.
Even better.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, those are the things that we're not covering. Although we kind of just did.
Oh, whoa.
Adding to the total, says John Limbacher. I'm sorry for mispronouncing that. Oh, that's your 3rd super chat on a live stream, apparently, according to my chat window. Okay. I think 2 people gave $10. Yeah, we can count that as 2. Ah, someone gave $4.99. I don't know if that counts.
Good enough.
But okay, so 2 people gave 2, so we'll add 2 to the total. So we're at 8. We only need 2 more super chats of $5 or more. But at that point, YouTube's not going to tell me automatically because it's just like it just counts number of super chats.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, yeah, no, $4.99 does count apparently. Sure. Did I get a new collection of Chuck Tingle books? I did not. Did he write new books? I've never actually read his books. I imagine they're terrible. You just get them for the title.
It's an established title.
Pounded in the butt by my own butt. And that's a short title.
Pounded in the butt by my own butt. Wait, is that actually one of his books?
Yes.
Jesus. Okay,
Oh,
you know
whoa.
what?
Fennec, I will give you Rovafia status if you permanently remove that fucker Carbotson drop. You mean this one?
You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
But
is that the one?
Ravi, don't you want a vigorous spanking, Ravi?
Yeah. I know the fact that it's Tucker Carlson saying that makes it terrible, but it's just too funny. It's just too funny.
That's why it's funniest whenever you play the version of the Vaporeon meme where he's the one saying it.
I don't know what the Vaporeon meme is.
You don't know what the Vaporeon meme
well.
is. How safe do you feel?
Pretty safe. But we got
Pretty
another.
safe?
Well, oh no, I see 8. Okay, I can still hear you, but I am going to be off camera for a second.
Okay, so we
And
won't have your...
Fennec is spanking me.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
Yeah, you know what? Fine. If we are doing that, then I've got you. Hey, Rhino, did you know that in terms of male and female human compatibility and Pokemon breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon for humans? Not only are they in the field egg group, which is mostly comprised of mammals, Vaporeon are an average of 3 foot 3 inches tall and 63.9 pounds. This means that they are large enough to be able to handle human dicks. And with their impressive base stats for health and access to the move Acid Armor, you could be rough with one due to their mostly water-based biology. And due to that water-based biology, there is no doubt in my mind that an aroused Vaporeon would be incredibly wet. So wet that you could easily have sex with one for hours without getting sore. They can also learn the moves Attract, Baby Doll Eyes, Captivate, Charm, and Tail Whip, along with not having fur to hide nipples. So it would be incredibly easy for one to get you in the mood. With their abilities Water Absorb and Hydration, they can easily recover from fatigue and water. No other Pokemon comes close to this level of compatibility with humans. Also, fun fact, if you pull out enough, you can make your Vaporeon turn white.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
That's the Vaporeon meme.
Okay.
So now imagine Tucker Carlson saying all of that.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Yeah. So I have a Rhino onesie now.
So now it's a onesie sleepover party.
Let's talk about incredibly serious political topics with Booby Sonic Lady and Rhino onesie man.
Excellent.
EB the Nerd says this is cursed knowledge. I mean, depends who you are. To some people, it's very sexy knowledge.
It's even worse after the leaks that happened from the Pokemon, like
leaks.
Yes, that technically it is that exactly.
I'm sorry,
but no, the leaks have made it infinitely worse for a lot of people. There is so much canon Pokemon just fucking porn now. Thanks to those leaks. Canon because it was made by the actual people who make the games.
Okay, let's actually do some news.
This was news. Everybody was talking about it.
Sir Hask says, respectfully, sirs, what the fuck? Rhino hates chat. What? Chat? Dasa has a link? Wait, no, that, I don't have to imagine it. You don't have to, okay. No, I'm not clicking that link on stream.
Click the link. It's a YouTube link. It's safe.
I know, but
it's safe.
Given
it's
what
a
you
YouTube
were talking,
link.
given what you were talking about, though,
it's a YouTube link. It's
YouTube
safe.
bots miss shit all the damn time.
They didn't miss that.
Yeah, do you know what it is?
Oh, I'm taking a wild guess, but I think my guess is correct.
Okay, I'm looking for where it's clickable because it's not clickable in my little hi lady chat thing. Okay. Copy address. I'm going to open a new window where you guys can't see it yet. Oh, I don't even have the news articles up yet, so never mind. It doesn't even fucking matter. What? No. Oh, God damn it. Oh, it's the Tucker thing. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Since you just literally just read that, I guess we can... where's my button? There's my button.
Oh, they can't hear the sound. They can't hear the sound at all.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure I want to watch that again.
The sound isn't propagating to stream.
Okay. Well, I turned off my Oh, no, don't want that. Application capture. Window. Tucker Carlson. Window title must match, because I don't want accidental sounds coming through.
Did you know that in terms of male, human, and female Pokemon breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon for humans? Not only are they in the Field Egg group, which is mostly comprised of mammals, Vaporeon are now 63.9 pounds. This means they're large enough to be able to handle human dicks. And with their impressive base stats for HP and access to acid armor, you can be rough with one. Due to their mostly water...
Apparently I'm echoing now.
Double Rhino, what does it mean?
It means that I might have accidentally added my webcam as an audio source.
Oh.
So, yeah, should be gone now.
Based biology, there's no doubt in my mind that an aroused Vaporeon would be incredibly wet. So wet that you could easily have sex with one for hours without getting sore. They can also learn the moves Attract, Baby Doll Eyes, Captivate, Charm, and Tail Whip, along with not having fur to hide nipples, so it'd be incredibly easy for one to get you in the mood. With their abilities Water Absorb and Hydration, they can easily recover from fatigue with enough water. No other
But what if you want fur on the nipples?
Well, too bad.
I feel like there are people that are into that.
Then they can go for a Flareon.
Like they're the people that got into furry porn by way of the Disney movies, The Rescuers. That was Disney, right?
Rescuers was Disney, though I don't remember if it was Disney. But I think Robin Hood usually is noted a bit more.
Yeah, but Bianca and The Rescuers actually like has like there's a couple moments where she like fluffs her bosom out, but like you can't actually see anything. Like I know Robin Hood is the stereotypical that got me into furry thing, but yeah. Anyway, on to news that we're actually supposed to be talking about tonight. This is a long article, so I didn't want to spend so much time on the meme shit that we are doing.
Did you know that in terms of America MAGA compatibility, Trump is the least compatible?
Yeah, actually. That was part of the 2-hour-long Some More News video where they were talking about how Trump is bad for people who support Trump.
Yeah.
Like the only people he's good for are him and other like billionaires and millionaires. Like he's not good for anyone. Anyway, so this article is all about how like Donald Trump has described at length the dangerous and disturbing actions he says he will take if he wins during the presidency. Now, this is actually in the New York Times. So it's oh shit. Yeah, that's the actual website. But yeah, so it's on the editorial page, but like still, New York Times is not been the most left-leaning paper recently.
WAPO's been having similar issues.
Oh, yeah, that's another one that we're not covering, the Jeff Bezos WAPO thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like so here's the thing. When I heard that Washington Post was refusing to endorse a candidate for president for the first time since the 80s. My gut reaction, I turned to my partner and I was like, hey, Washington Post isn't endorsing a political candidate for the first time since the 80s. I'll bet you like Jeff Bezos was like, no, we cannot support Kamala because Donald Trump will be good for the billionaires. And as soon as I said that, I was like, nah, that's a little much. He's probably not getting personally involved. And then I opened the actual link and read the story instead of just the headline and was like, oh, yeah, it was actually that. Jeff Bezos personally was like, no, we are not endorsing a candidate because I want the guy that's good for billionaires, but it would be
it's politically expedient to not endorse him.
Yeah. But like
it's the same reason that Trump doesn't endorse Project 2025 vocally. I mean, he does. He just doesn't do it when he thinks people are listening.
Yeah.
Because he knows it's politically expedient to not.
Yep. Well, that's actually part of the article is that so people that endorse his opponents in the past when he actually had power, he tried to weaponize the justice system against them. You know, the thing that he's complaining people are doing to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually started it. But because
it's always projection.
Yeah, but because at the time there were people that actually like cared about the rule of law and shit. They managed to work anyway. So they go on to say like his supporters are talking about how like, oh, it's just bluster, it's hyperbole, you can't take him seriously. Like,
why is it bad to take somebody on their word?
Did you see
is that not the thing we're allowed to do?
Did you see the Jon Stewart clip about this?
No, I don't think I did.
Where he got very angry about that, and he was like, how like everything Harris says, she has to have like an 80-page detailed plan into how she's going to implement it and exactly what's going to happen and what policies are going to do what and whatever, and like she has to like have everything laid out perfectly. But like
when it's Trump, it's just
like No, when his Trump is don't trust him, bro. He's not going to do the things that he says he's going to do. That's just him being bluster. That's just hyperbole. Whatever. But yeah, it's a good clip. But here at the opinion page of the New York Times, they say we have 2 words for American voters: believe him. The record shows that Mr. Trump often pursues his stated goals regardless of how plainly they lack legal or moral grounding. The record further shows that many of his most reckless efforts in his first administration were stymied only because of others in his administration who blocked, delayed, or watered down his aims to ensure that he could not put himself above the law or country. They didn't actually do that, but they did a better job of that than the next round of sycophants are going to do. Mr. Trump, I like how, like, repeatedly throughout this, they call him Mr. Trump, because we know he likes to be referred to as President Trump. So, like, they go out of their way to say Mr. every single time.
Right. Now I'm just remembering the scene from Animaniacs. And a President Trump! At least we think there's a President Trump.
I don't remember that being in Animaniacs.
Have you not seen the reboot?
Is there a reboot for Animaniacs?
There is a reboot that, like, shits all over Trump.
It's
great.
I kind of want to go see that now. Okay, stream canceled. I'm going to watch Animaniacs now.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. There's like 3 seasons of it. It's fucking fantastic.
Okay. Mr. Trump has learned from that experience to surround himself with supplicants who would instead obey his wishes and bring his words and ideas to life, even if they contradict facts, the public interest, or the Constitution. AKA, I'd like to have generals like Hitler.
Yep. I want people that are going to do exactly what I say all the time, and when they don't, it's okay for me to night of long knives them.
Yeah, so he's saying now that, like, he's ready to deploy the military against his political opponents. He says that he'll instruct the Justice Department to prosecute his critics. He says that he's going to mobilize the National Guard to deport immigrants, that he's ready to blow Iranian cities to smithereens, that he'll allow vigilante violence as a solution to crime in America. And, like, those are all things that he has said, and we should believe him when he says these things.
Yeah, again, why is it not okay for us to believe him when he says these things?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this was sent to me by Fennec. Thank you, Fennec. So yeah, the structure of this article is it quotes him, says, like, this is what he says in his own words, and then it follows that up with, and this is why we should believe him. So in his own words, wouldn't it be terrible to throw the president's wife and the former Secretary of State, think of it, the former Secretary of State but the president's wife, into jail? Wouldn't that be a terrible thing? But they want to do it. It's a terrible, terrible path that they're leading us to, and it's very possibly that it's going to happen to them. So, like, yeah, it's so terrible to throw your political opponents in jail. So we're going to have to do it to them.
They might have to deal with it.
So terrible, I might do it to them.
So bad. God, I'm such a bad boy.
So why you should believe him
spankings.
Here? Yeah.
You've been a bad little girl, and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now.
Yeah, so why you should believe him, because when he was president, he tried to do that. So he tried to get Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden. Actually, no, he tried to get Ukraine to investigate Hunter Biden. And that was what his first impeachment was about. Apparently, behind the scenes, he was relentless in trying to get his attorneys general and the IRS to investigate people he thought had wronged him, including Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, the FBI director James Comey, Andrew McCabe, who was Comey's deputy. Now, none of those efforts led to any charges being filed because, like, there were actually people in charge who were like, yeah, no, we can't actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
But those people wouldn't be there this time.
Because,
and, like, Project 2025 lays out a plan for how you can get rid of those people.
Like, all things considered, the literature showing you that you're wrong is out there, publicly accessible, and all you have to do is be willing to read, which I know for many people is a high bar.
Thank you for subscribing, Shiggy Lux. Yeah. So after Watergate in the 1970s, the Justice Department established policies aimed at insulating decision-making from White House pressure, specifically to stop presidents from being able to do the things that Trump wanted to do. And it worked at the time because people would follow the Justice Department rules. But, like, like we've been saying, he's going to surround himself with sycophants that are going to not care about the rules. Oh yeah, and also NPR was keeping track. Apparently, since 2022, Trump has made more than 100 specific threats to investigate, prosecute, jail, or otherwise punish people that he regards as enemies, including Biden, Kamala Harris, members of Congress, judges, and prosecutors. So...
joy! Yeah. It's almost like we have reason to be afraid.
Mm-hmm. And in his own words, with your vote, we will seal the border, stop the invasion, and launch the largest deportation effort in American history. Yeah, so Trump said he said repeatedly that he would move quickly to deport millions of people who are living in the United States without legal permission. Stephen Miller said last year that militarized detention camps, read concentration camps, would be built near the border. The estimated costs of mass deportations run into the tens of billions of dollars. Such a campaign would tear apart families, disrupt communities, and create a host of economic problems. Weird that they lead with the it would cost tens of billions of dollars.
Like, and not the terrible things we're going to be doing to human lives.
Yeah, like, you know, like if a baby's born in the States, they're a citizen. I mean, I know Trump wants to stop that policy too, but that is the policy. You are a citizen if you were born in the States. So if he's deporting people, there are going to be children that are citizens of the United States that their parents are now
they lose their
deported.
Parents. I mean, that already happens though. Like there are people who get married in the States, and the actual, like, the bureaucracy that normally would be in place for you to actually become an American citizen with a marriage certificate does not always happen in an expedient time. And there have been points where women's husbands have actually been deported back to, say, Mexico after being here for 10 years because their case got, like, glued up in all kinds of bureaucracy. And especially if you've got somebody who's working, say, 2 jobs, like a lot of people in America are, and like a lot of lawyers end up having to do if they are like public appointed lawyers because they're underpaid and stretched thin.
Mm-hmm.
It's very likely that some people just don't have the fucking time to deal with all this shit.
Offset Sparrow says I might have to binge watch My Little Pony after the stream. That's a good choice. It's a good show. But yeah, so he deported about 326,000 people during his stint as president, which was less than he said that he was going to do, but he was stopped from executing a much broader sweep by lack of funding, because that is still controlled by Congress. But there were also legal challenges and resistance from federal, state, and local officials. But Trump's advisors on immigration policy say that they have learned from that experience and that this time they'll be ready to mobilize the government's resources to withstand legal challenges. One of those ideas being to invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which would allow him to deport not only illegal immigrants, but also legal ones. So, like,
yay!
What the fuck?
It's the best, don't you know? It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there's the enemy from within quote. We played that on stream a couple weeks ago. We don't need to read the whole thing. But why you should believe that he's going to use the military to take care of the enemy from within? Trump has shown his willingness to target people who oppose him and to subject or expose them to violence to suit his ends. After refusing to accept the results of the 2020 election, he incited rioters to attack the Capitol, and several people died as a result. And he still remains insistent that elections are legitimate only if he wins. Now, in fairness, he doesn't actually say it's only a legitimate election if I win. He just says, yeah, I'll accept the results of the election if it's legitimate. And we know that he will only consider it legitimate if he wins. So, like, we know what it means. He hasn't explicitly said that one, but we know that that's what he's referring to. His threats to deploy the military against his political opponents merely for being his political opponents are a sobering reminder of what kind of president he would be. In 2020, he wanted this. He wanted to mobilize the military against Black Lives Matter protesters. He wanted soldiers to shoot them in the legs, according to Mark Esper, who was his defense secretary at the time.
Does it, so I just have to cut in on that one real quick. Does Trump realize that shooting in the legs does not mean non-lethal? Does he realize that? You realize that there's arteries in the fucking legs.
Well, and
you can die from a leg shot.
That's assuming that everybody is a perfect shot and will just hit the legs where they were aiming and not, oops, I accidentally did a headshot. Oh, well.
Not to mention, that actually goes against training. So National Guard, United States military, police force, the standard training for firearms is center of mass. That is where you get the greatest stopping power. That is where you have the highest chance of landing a hit. That is how all defense classes are treated in the first place. So saying, hey, just shoot them all in the legs, that's going to create its own series of problems. It goes against training. And even more so, again, there are arteries in the legs. There's no guarantee that a leg shot is a non-lethal shot. However, another point, depending on the environment that you're in, if you're on metal grating, as an example, and you fire a round down, that round ricochets at that point because you aimed down at the goddamn ground, which is a stupid fucking thing to do. Every single person who has ever taken gun safety or has gone to a rifle range or anything, every person who has done that can tell you the myriad of problems that exist with that fucking plan.
Yep, and people in my chatters pointing out you could also cause a panic in which people could be trampled.
Yep.
And also there could be children at protests, because that's a thing that happens sometimes. So, like, start shooting at protesters. People that shouldn't die are going to die. Well, any protester shouldn't die just for protesting. Trump subsequently fired Mr. Esper, who was the guy who publicly said, like, yeah, no, we shouldn't be shooting protesters in the legs. So he fired him for saying that. And he's made it clear that if he's reelected, he intends to pick officials who will do what he says. And then as to the vigilante justice thing, he says, one rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. That was his purge thing.
The purge, yep.
Yeah. So he has a long history of encouraging violence against those that he accuses of crimes, a category that stretches from these to legal protesters to public officials and journalists. He told people at his rallies to knock the crap out of protesters. He offered to pay the legal bills of people who might consider throwing a tomato at him if they beat those people up.
You know, it's funny. He says he'll pay those legal bills, but at the same time, we know there are people that have been waiting for pardons from him that just ended up rotting in jail.
Yep. On January 6th, he told his supporters to fight like hell and prevent Congress from confirming Mr. Biden's victory. And during that the current campaign, he has repeatedly returned to the idea that the government should kill shoplifters.
So yes, because a human life is worth that $20 pack of cards.
Yeah, no, I stand firmly with the position of if I see someone shoplifting, no, I didn't.
No, I didn't. I
Especially
remember getting...
if it's something like food or baby supplies.
So there was a friend of mine who like found himself down the conservative alt-right rabbit hole eventually. Mostly anti-SJW stuff more than anything. But I remember back when I used to actually be on Facebook for a while, there was a video of shoplifting happening, and I remember seeing this woman, who I did not know, commenting on how you should have shot those, insert bad word here, on site. And I just went, okay, so we're just saying that, like, that $10 stack of clothes they stole is worth a whole human life? Is that what we're saying? And I got in an argument with this person on Facebook. And then I found out that the reason our Facebook feeds crossed is she was the mother of one of my friends at the time. And he was just like, dude, that's my mom. I don't care. I don't see
doesn't
why
matter
I
that's
should
your
have
mom.
to
Your
care.
Your mom had a hot take.
Your mom's advocating for fucking killing people. Why is that? She's my mom.
Like
then you should be ashamed. I'm sorry. What the fuck do you want from me?
That's like police chases. 99.9% of police chases are for things that, like, they're not, like, the stakes are not high enough to put people's lives in danger. Just let them go. You've got the license plate numbers. Worst case scenario, somebody like gets away with stealing a fucking car. Hat. So now we got Wizard Rhino. I don't know. I'm taking the hoodie down if we're doing hats, because I don't know if you know this, but it is fucking hot in here. So having a hoodie and a hat.
It's hot in there, so take off all your clothes.
I mean, I did. That's why I had to do it off stream. I'm not wearing my shirt anymore.
Oh.
and Rhino Wizard Rhino, it matches. Yeah, gray hat, gray Rhino, sure. So yeah, he's calling for shoplifters to be executed. And people are saying that his rough hour thing shouldn't be taken seriously or literally.
Why shouldn't it be taken seriously? He fucking said it. Why is the most important man in the fucking world, basically, that's the job he wants, why is that person not allowed to have his words taken seriously? Why? That's what you say to your. That's what you say about your kid.
Beat me to the joke.
That's what you say about your child. That's what you say about your kid, that you don't want to get in trouble, too much more than they already are.
Do you remember when he told Fred Trump to let his disabled child die, and so that he could move to Florida and have a normal life? Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
That's the thing he did. So, yeah. That's the thing. Like, watching that Some More News video, there were so many things. It's like, oh yeah, I remember him doing that really fucking shitty thing. How come I forgot about that? Like, there's just been so many massive fucking scandals that any one of them would have been a complete deal breaker. Deal breaker. Like, I remember, I was in school when the Bill Clinton thing happened.
The Monica Lewinsky thing?
Yeah, the Monica Lewinsky thing. Okay, so that was the 90s, early 2000s when Bush was president. That was when I was at the Christian school. I remember teachers talking about how like they'd still be reminiscing about the Bill Clinton thing and be talking about how like, oh yeah, no, the liberals are saying that like, he can keep his personal life and his political life separate, so like he can still make the right decisions for our country, but like, can you really trust someone who's going to be that immoral in their personal life to not have that immorality carry over to their professional life? And it's like, where did those people go? Where did that argument go? The guy who cheats on his wife with porn stars multiple times, like every wife that he's had, he's cheated on so far. Fenix asking, how old am I? I'm old enough that the last time a child asked me that, I had to actually bust out a calculator. I'm 38. But yeah. Was talking to Jassa. Yeah, no, I'm 38. But yeah, I literally did have to bust out a calculator when a kid asked me how old I was. Cause I'm like, am I 37? Am I 38? I don't remember. What was my last birthday?
I forgot.
Yeah, so. Wait, Rhino is younger than me? Sure. Yeah.
Oh, why not? Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah. But, so, in his own words, if I were president, I would inform the threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we're going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens. So that's at an event in North Carolina in September. He said that the Biden administration has not done enough to protect him from assassination attempts, including a possible Iranian plot. So yeah, the president does have broad powers to authorize military actions against a foreign country. And pretty much every fucking president has essentially committed war crimes. Like, including Obama. Obama was really bad for the drone strikes. Like,
he is the king of drone strikes.
No. Trump was the king of drone strikes. Obama was the king of drone strikes, but then Trump upped the game, and then he did the fascist thing of being like, yeah, let's just not report on these anymore. So the information is there if you know where to look, but it wasn't being reported on like it was under Obama. But yeah, no, Trump ramped up drone strikes.
Yay.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is that, like, the president has military authorization. He's the commander-in-chief of the army. And apparently he has this thing where, like, he really wants to detonate a nuke. He really wants to nuke something.
I mean, he
doesn't care what could be a fucking hurricane.
Constantly about it, nuking hurricanes. His bigger, redder button against Kim Jong-un. Like,
yeah. So when John Kelly was Secretary of Homeland Security and James Mattis was serving as Secretary of Defense, they made a pact with each other not to leave the country at the same time, so that one of them would be on hand to restrain the president.
To restrain the president.
Yeah.
That's the verbiage they needed.
Yep. And last month, more than 700 former and current national security officials released a letter describing Mr. Trump as unfit for the presidency because he is vengeful and impulsive.
I mean, it's not untrue. Not even in the slightest.
Yep. So in his own words, this was at his rally at Coachella. Says, we'll force it down his throat and we'll say, Gavin, if you don't do it, we're not giving you any of the fire money that we sent you all the time for the forest fires that you have. So this is talking about withholding aid from a state that has policies that he doesn't like. So yeah, he said he would withhold emergency aid for California after wildfires unless it's the state's Democratic governor, Gavin Newsom, complied with his demands for changes in unrelated agricultural policies. So why you should believe that he'll do this is, while he was in office, he repeatedly sought to prevent the distribution of emergency aid to places run by Democrats. His administration delayed more than $20 billion in emergency aid for Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. Do you remember that? When he tossed hurricanes into the crowd after Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico? And
you mean toilet
hundreds?
Paper?
No, it was paper towels.
Paper towels. Yeah.
And hundreds of people died who would not have died if the government aid had been there, but he delayed the aid money, and hundreds of people died as a result.
Yay. And I'm so excited to have him as the president again.
Yeah. And then when Florida happened, he expedited aid, and telling Governor DeSantis on the phone, he said, "Oh, I must have won 90% of the vote out there. Huge crowds. What do they need?" It's like, a lot of people there voted for me, so I'll give them aid money. After wildfires swept California in 2018, the president initially declined to approve emergency aid until Mark Harvey, his senior official on his National Security Council, told him that, okay, maybe not him, but he told Politico, but like he was delaying aid to California until he found out that there were more Trump supporters in Orange County than in the entire state of Iowa. And yet somehow Iowans, if you live in Iowa, your vote is worth more than if you live in California because Electoral College.
Man, I really do wish that we could get rid of the Electoral College system at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's outdated and fucked.
But that aside, like, the president of the United States is supposed to do what they can to help the people of the United States, regardless of their fucking politics. Like, hey, like right now, hurricane hits the South. You were in the path of one of those.
Yep.
They get FEMA on the ground, ASAP. They get people there helping.
No, we gotta hunt FEMA. We gotta hunt them down.
Yeah. The Republican governors get on the airwaves to be like, hey, the Democratic president has been great. They've sent us all the aid money we could possibly ask for. Like, it's been great. They've been doing everything they can. Let's work together to actually save lives, because saving lives is more important than policy disagreement. Like, I think we can both agree that, like, yeah, there are people that we disagree with in our lives over policy. That doesn't mean we want them to die. It's so fucking cruel to just be like, hey, this person disagrees with me politically, so
you didn't vote for me.
I'm just going to let them fucking die, even though I have the power to prevent that because they disagree with me politically. Fuck you. Oh, yeah, and he doesn't know the people in Puerto Rico are Americans. I believe that was it? I think that was in the clip that I played. What was it? Virgin Islands? He didn't know that he didn't know that people in the Virgin Islands were American.
Imagine. It is still fucked up that those aren't states, by the way.
Yeah, make Puerto Rico a state, make the Virgin Islands a state, American Samoa. Fucking DC. Why can't you vote if you live in DC? Anyway. Says, in his own words, on day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children, and I will not give one penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. I will keep men out of women's sports 100%.
Wagat?
So, that's... Like, yeah, there's only 11% of public elementary and high school funding comes from the federal government, but school districts do rely on that funding, especially in lower income communities, and Mr. Trump could try and tweak those conditions in ways that would advance his agenda. Also, worth mentioning, vaccine mandates. Thank you for the hydrate, Sean Helfin.
Vaccine mandates save lives. Weird, right?
So school vaccination mandates, which are on the books in all 50 states, have played a critical role in reducing the spread of infectious diseases. One alarming piece of evidence is that states that make it easier for families to claim exemptions from the requirements already experience higher rates of measles and other infectious diseases. And in his own words, he says, "No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay your bills." So that's referring to NATO and how he wants to leave NATO, which, remember, NATO was specifically created to be a bulwark against the USSR, now Russia. So, like, he's pro-Russia. You know, the guys that could be just universally assumed to be the bad guys in all the action movies from the 90s. When it wasn't Middle Eastern people.
Look, the action movies are better when we're fighting brown people, apparently.
Even if those brown people are Gary Oldman. That was a good action movie. I'm talking about Air Force One, if you don't know.
I haven't actually seen Air Force One.
You haven't seen Air Force One? Oh, it is like so good, bad, bad, good. Whatever
so good,
it is.
Bad, bad, good.
Whatever it is. It's like jingoism on crack. Like, if you like waving the flag, you will come.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
But yeah, no, it's a fun movie, but it is so fucking stupid. And Glenn Close is in it. She's the vice president. How progressive. Such a progressive movie. Fennec says, "You love atrocious movies." I do love atrocious movies. I really do. Air Force One is an atrocious movie. I fully recognize it. Anyway, last year Congress passed a law that expressly prohibits the president from withdrawing the United States from NATO without lawmakers' authorization. Thank fuck for that. However, Trump could act to undermine the alliance even without withdrawing formally, for example, by reducing the number of troops dedicated to NATO, an approach that some experts describe as quiet quitting. So he could quiet quit NATO.
What, quiet quitting NATO? Okay. This is just him grabbing Zoomer discourse and then using it for fucking foreign affairs.
No, it's people pointing out that quiet quitting was not something that they owned. It's something that was like, hey, that sounds an awful lot like this thing that people are saying that Zoomers are doing. Okay, so let's move away from that depressing story onto another depressing story. Hundreds of ballots are destroyed after fires are set in a ballot drop box in Oregon and Washington. So PSA, check on your ballots after you cast them. You can do that. There are ways to do that. I think it's different depending on what state you're living in, because Americans are fucking weird with their states' rights bullshit. But yeah, you can. There are ways to check it. You're gonna have to like do a search for. I'm not gonna say Google it anymore because fuck Google.
Google's been getting worse and worse and worse.
I have actively changed the default search engine on my Android phone. Android, which is owned by Google. You'd think that the Google search would be best on Android because it's all vertical integration, baby. But I started searching for things with Google, and it kept on popping up bullshit from their fucking AI model. And
Yep.
it was just like there was... There like half the time
wrong.
Yeah, half the time it was like, that's the wrong answer. I know that's the wrong answer. Like, I'm searching for something because I don't know the answer, but I know that's not it. And so I'd have to like scroll past it. Then when you scroll past it, you get like 3 pages of ads and sponsored results. You're like, okay, these people are paying them to be the results. So okay, just keep scrolling. Like it just got so... Because
It
like
becomes too much.
I'm fucking lazy. Like I just left it at Google because like Google's the default. Google's easy, whatever. It's the default for everything. So I'm just going to use it because it doesn't require any effort to change it. When
But
it
it's starting
started
to require
doing
effort to use it.
it started, yeah, like now just searching for a thing, it no longer just tells me what I want to know. I now have to scroll past a bunch of ads and AI bullshit to get there. So I'm like, okay, this has actually prompted me to change the default search engine on my phone. But
Yeah, that's when you know that it's bullshit.
Yep. So, and Vulpix, half fox, half Pokemon, says Gemini has been giving me accurate information. Are you sure about that? Like, have you verified the information that it gives you is accurate? Like, I'm not saying it's inaccurate at everything that it does. I'm sure it does get the right answer at least some of the time. But like,
the problem is that it's very hard for AI models like any large language model. They operate by scraping data, and they have no way to tell if the data is true. All they can tell is that the data has been said more often.
So YouTube has recently started doing AI automatic responses that you can click on in YouTube Studio, like when people post things. Okay. God damn it. My hood keeps taking my headphones off. So yeah, instead of just being like the autocomplete auto-generated things where it's like a 2-word like, okay, sounds good, or something like that, it's now trying to like engage with whatever's being said.
Oh
like,
boy, Dead Internet Theory is my favorite.
It is so fucking bad at it. You know how... I don't know what AI has against Paulogia, but like... It's like it's wanting me to respond to people. Like anytime Paulogia is brought up, it's like, oh hey, did you know that Paulogia got his name from Paula? That's what he's named after. I'm like, who the fuck is Paula? And no, the fuck he isn't. And then there was another one that was like, ha, you think that's bad? I got banned on Facebook for just mentioning Paulogia. Like,
what?
What
No,
do you
didn't.
have against Paul? He's like the most wholesome of the atheist content creators. What?
He's had the least scandals out of all of us.
Yeah. So like it's just wild. I'm just like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't know. It's just bad. It's so funny. Twitch, stop with the Wicked ads. I'm not that kind of gay.
Oh, I can't wait to see Wicked in theaters. I've been waiting for this.
Hey, I saw Wicked in the theater because it's a stage play.
I'm so happy for you.
And it was good.
I
enjoyed it.
can't wait to have an entire fucking movie theater sing Defying Gravity.
So here's the thing. I actually we watched Wicked, and then I came home and I was like, I'm not sure how well that integrates with Wizard of Oz. So I started watching I didn't watch the whole movie, but I watched little clips of Wizard of Oz and we're like, okay, so yeah, no, that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't add up, and that doesn't work, or whatever. And then I forget, it was probably Lindsay Ellis again. I've been watching a lot of Lindsay Ellis, but there was a video essay on the Wicked Witch character of it would have been Lindsay Ellis doing the villain thing that she does, where she talks about the different portrayals of the witch in the Wizard of Oz,
and how the witch is completely different in the book.
No, it's not. No, because it's not based on the book. Kind of is based on the book. But when they wrote Wicked, they didn't have permission from Warner Brothers to use Wizard of Oz stuff from the movie. So they had to, because the book was in public domain. So like they purposely made it not fit with the movie, because if it fit with the movie too well, then we're infringing copyright.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that made that make sense to me.
They're allowed to use the characters as they exist, like a Frankenstein's monster, but they can't use...
Thank you for subscribing, Sof.
They can't do like a sequel to Bride of Frankenstein.
What's interesting about that, though, is that in the book, her skin's not green, but the core element of the plot for Wicked is that her skin is green.
Well,
so
yeah, because she's got the allergy to water.
I know, but that clearly came from the movie, but they still got away with it.
So painting a character green is not something they can hold on to, because remember, the movie is the intellectual property, the characters are not, because the characters are based on the book.
But the character was explicitly not green in the book,
right? But that's like saying we have to make the character white instead of black in the next thing,
okay,
because they were in one portrayal.
I mean, they could have made her yellow, purple.
They could have.
I don't know. Anyway,
it's one of those things, like if you know how copyright law works with art, where if you put a hat on something, as long as it's a certain percentage of the picture, it's considered a different piece of art for copyright reasons. As long as like when you're doing image manipulation, there's a threshold, and it's different depending on where you live, but there's a threshold of change that an image has to go through before it's considered transformative. So it's not a binary of like, this is super similar. It's this is similar, but it reaches this threshold.
Yeah, I guess they could make an argument that like it might have started with the Wizard of Oz movie, but like at this point in our culture, witches just have green skin. It's just a cultural thing.
I mean, yeah, Looney Tunes has been doing that for a while too.
Anyway, back to the ballots. Hundreds of ballots are destroyed in fires set in ballot drop boxes in Oregon and Washington. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but because it's in 2 states, that makes it a federal case, right?
I do not know, actually, because it could be a federal case, or it could be just multiple states against.
I'm sorry, back off topic again. Mark Fernkoff says, it's Big Coffee Table trying to take Paula Gia down. If you know, you know.
I actually don't.
Oh, Paul and Shannon argue over whether or not to get a coffee table for the living room.
Oh.
And I forget who's on which side. I think Paul is on the non-coffee table side. I don't remember, and Shan's can get mad at me for not remembering. But
can I just say, I'm still really happy that they finally are actually together.
Yeah, they're like the most wholesome atheist couple.
It's wholesome. It's a good story.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this story. Authorities were investigating Monday after early morning fires were set in ballot drop boxes in Portland, Oregon, and nearby Vancouver, Washington, where hundreds of ballots were destroyed. Now, apparently, the drop boxes have fire suppressant systems, which I didn't know.
Makes sense, though.
But it does make sense, especially after this story. But so the ballots in Washington, I think? No, Oregon. The ballots in Portland were fine. Like, only 3 of them were damaged beyond recognizability. But the ones in Washington, the suppression system didn't work as well. So this is kind of the PSA where, like, if you have voted or after you vote, you can check it. It's different depending on what state you're in. So just we're not Googling anymore. Do a DuckDuckGo for how you can check on your ballot to make sure that they actually got your ballot and it was counted. Because if they didn't get your ballot and it wasn't counted, you can actually get a replacement ballot.
That's really fucked up to think about. Googling is a verb.
Mm-hmm.
It's become a verb.
Tweeting is a verb, even though it's X now.
Yeah. God damn. the tech industry is fucking killing us. That's going to be one of the videos I do.
Like turning company names into verbs has a long history. Like, this is not something I've ever said, but apparently some people will Xerox things instead of photocopying.
I've heard that said as well, but no, what I mean is, like, once you get something to become a verb, once you get something that is so ubiquitous in culture, then it's very hard to divorce that thing from the thing. Now with X,
I Google with DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, everybody is using, because like on X, everybody is, when they say they're tweeting, they mean the same thing no matter where they're going. But when you say Google something, everybody knows you're talking about using just the search engine.
Mark Fernkoff says Googling has been a verb for well over a decade. Catch up. Come on, Mark. 10 years ago, I was Ask Jeevesing. Thank you very much.
That fucking butler deserved to be taken down. God damn it. He's such a piece of shit. Anyway, no, I know that it's been a verb. The thing is, though, 10 years ago when Googling became a verb, we didn't have to get through 60% of a page to get to useful results.
Yeah.
We didn't have search engine optimization to the degree that we have right now.
It's so bad. It's 100% of the page in a lot of cases now.
Yep.
Like if you get because the AI thing doesn't come up with all the searches, but if you get the AI thing, that combined with the ads, it's 100% of the page.
Yeah,
like the actual results are below the fold now.
And because the other problem you get is you get people who are SEO gurus who game the system, who put shit so far up in their actual like search engine results, despite it not being what you need, just because it's better optimized than like the random blog that you'd actually get the information from that you need.
So apparently enough states have signed on to that National Popular Vote Interstate Compact that all we need is Arizona now, and the Electoral College will effectively be nullified. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
If you're unaware, I don't remember the details of that. Yeah, Arizona? No, I don't think so. I don't remember the details about that, but the compact, if I recall correctly, is essentially the states, like it's a group of states that agree that whichever candidate wins the popular vote overall nationally, that is who they will throw their electoral votes behind, regardless of who won their state. But there needs to be enough people sign it, and enough people or enough states sign on to that in order for it to actually work. But yeah, I don't see Arizona actually doing that. But there's ranked choice voting is on the ballot in a lot of places this election. So like, go vote for that shit. But anyway, so in Vancouver, now when I saw the number of ballots that were destroyed, I was like, it's a few hundred. Yeah, that sucks, but it's probably not going to affect anything. But apparently Vancouver is the site of, it's supposed to be one of the closest U.S. House races in the country. It's between Democratic Rep. Mary Gluesenkamp Perez and Republican challenger Joe Kent. So, you know, in close races, hundreds of votes can make the difference. So if you do live in the Vancouver area of, I think that's Washington. Vancouver's Washington? Yeah. Sorry. For me, Vancouver's in British Columbia. But so if you live in Vancouver, Washington, and you potentially drop your ballot off at the Landing Transit Center, definitely check on that. Make sure it actually got counted. But responders pulled a burning pile of ballots from inside the box, and hundreds of them were lost. And they have a picture of Harris eating Doritos for some reason. You remember when Trump commented on Harris eating Doritos? Like, oh, she's probably going to get fat because she eats Doritos when it's stressful. Like, okay.
Doesn't fucking JD Vance go on about his Diet Mountain Dew kick?
I don't know, but like, who fucking cares? Okay.
Also, maybe Trump's already fat.
Maybe she gets put under stress and she gains some weight. Who fucking cares? We don't vote for the president based on their weight. Or at least we shouldn't.
If we did vote, hold on, no. We should vote for the president based on their weight.
Vote for the thinner president this time.
Now Trump won't be president because he is obese.
He's too damn fat. Too damn fat. So there were surveillance cameras that covered the drop box and surrounding area. The last ballot pickup at the transit center drop box was at 11 a.m. on Saturday. And anyone who dropped their ballots after there was urged to contact the auditor's office to obtain a new one. The office will be increasing how frequently it collects ballots and changing collection times to the evening to keep ballot boxes from remaining full of ballots overnight when similar crimes are considered more likely to occur. So yeah, the FBI is investigating this. So yeah, federal crime. I don't know if it's federal specifically because it crossed state lines or if it's because it's election stuff or whatever. Oh, what does a mod need to do in my Twitch chat? What's going on? Oh, in Cirrus Discord, someone ping everyone in Cirrus Discord, let them know where he is stream-wise? Oh, I guess your Discord is confused about your streaming. But, yeah, people have taken care of that. Okay, we're good. And in Phoenix last week, officials said roughly 5 ballots were destroyed and others damaged when fire set in a drop box at the U.S. Postal Service station there. So that's Phoenix, Arizona. So, like, this is happening all over the place. I don't know the politics of who's setting these fires, but I can guess. This is not the sort of...
Which group of people routinely lose when more people vote? Those are the people who want fewer votes counted.
Vote for Taft based on weight. Yeah, because a decomposed skeleton is a lot lighter than any of the candidates this election. But, yeah, no, like, which candidates are using rhetoric that makes people think that they're justified in meddling with election stuff? It's the Republicans.
Yep, it's not the Democrats.
So, yeah. Okay, I promised you we would end on not necessarily a high note, but this is what the stream is titled after. The Catholic Church is getting creepy with this. Vatican unveils new cartoon mascot for the Catholic Church.
Oh, yeah, their little Nendroid looking thing.
So this was sent to me by Eric. Have you seen the pictures?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking god, it's going to give me nightmares. It is going to give me fucking nightmares, Cirrus.
She's adorable.
No, she is not. Oh my god, she's an eldritch horror, Cirrus. What is wrong with you?
I'll have you know, I have posted on Blue Sky about how I think Shieldred might be a baddie.
Archbishop Rhino Fisciella says that the mascot is named Luce, is created for the from the desire to enter the world of pop culture so beloved by your young people. Okay, first off, let me just say...
Hello, fellow kids.
No. It's so much more sinister than that, Cirrus. This is the Catholic Church, an organization known for harboring child rapists.
They don't want to enter the world of young people.
Come
they
here,
want to
children.
enter more young people.
Come here, children. We've got cute cartoon characters you like. This is the fucking religious version of the unmarked white van with free candy. Come over here, children. We've got this cute mascot to lure you into us.
She's adorable.
No, she is fucking not. I don't know if we can be friends after this, or if you think she's... But also, I would like to point out, Luce, she's named for the Latin word for light. That's literally where we get Lucifer from. He's the light bringer.
Mm-hmm.
So, is this the devil? Luce is the devil?
Could be.
Okay, I'm skipping that picture because it sucks. The Vatican has unveiled a new mascot for the Catholic Church in the hope of engaging young people. No, child rape organization doesn't need to engage more young people. They need to do less of that, please. A cartoon character named Luce. Named after the Latin word for light because, yeah, they don't seem to... Like, I guarantee you evangelicals, if they find out about this, are going to be like, see, the Catholic Church is the Antichrist. They're coming out, they have a mascot who is, like, talking about, like, this is basically Lucifer. Because, like, Lucifer means light bringer. Is Luce's last name Morningstar? But yeah, so... Okay. You see those eyes? What the fuck is going on there? She's got Cthulhu pupils.
No, that's just basic fucking anime eyes.
No, that's fucking creepy. She's got like okay.
That's half the characters in ReZero.
There's the whites of her eyes, and then there's the iris, which is the blue shit, and then there's another blue, which would be the pupils, but then there's another pupil inside the pupil that's shaped like fucking Cthulhu.
Again, that's just every character in ReZero.
And then they got the reflections. I have no idea where this character is looking. Is she looking at the camera? Is she looking at the floor? Where is she looking? I can't fucking tell. It's creepy. And she's got, is it like the blood of her enemies is all over her boots?
She needs to wash her boots in the blood of the lamb.
She is fucking creepy as fuck. I don't know how you can look at that and not be like, that is an eldritch horror.
That is adorable.
Like, no, it's not adorable. Oh my god, it's so fucking terrifying. What is wrong with you, Cirrus? We're having a fight now.
The guy in the Sonic onesie. You're asking me what's wrong with me? Do you want the list?
I mean, I can't say anything about the onesie right now because I bet you're not. I bet you're not actually wearing a Sonic onesie if you turn the avatar off.
Oh no, I'm actually. If I turn the avatar off, I'm in a bikini. But no, there is a version of this model that has no clothes.
Sorry, wait. There's a model of you in the Sonic onesie with no clothes.
This particular model, there is a version of it that is clothesless that just has a yellow bikini because that's what Pernia put on it.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
Oh my god.
You've been a bad girl.
Okay. You have to do me a favor.
What?
In a video, you need to just have several pictures of Luce zooming in every time Tucker Carlson is going, "You've been a bad girl."
Talk to my editor about that one. That's their department. I don't do that shit anymore. Okay, but they say the image represents a happy union between Christian symbols and Japanese culture. I don't know. Does Japanese culture have eldritch horror eye pupils?
Yes, that's again anime.
I've seen animes. I've never seen anything this terrifying.
Again, ReZero.
This is not
just
going
the way
to
eyes are made in ReZero.
This is not going to give you nightmares?
No.
How do you spell ReZero? R-E-0.
Look up Beatrice in ReZero.
Beatrice ReZero. I mean, yeah, it's. I don't think that's as creepy as Luce.
Well, because the context isn't there. That this is the Catholic Church. Let's be fair.
No, okay, yeah, but like, okay, let's see. Can I? Nope, that went the wrong way. What the fuck is going on with my zoom? Yeah. If I go fast, you can see it.
Just right-clicking and then hitting open image in new tab.
Maybe. Okay. So, in those eyes, I still don't know what the pupil is. Yeah, okay, no, that's still a little creepy. It's not as creepy because it's not like Cthulhu at the bottom. Like, where's her eye line supposed to be? Is it supposed to be the butterfly or the light blue thing?
The butterflies.
So the butterfly is actually where she's looking.
Mm-hmm.
So where would her eye line be? Where is her eye line?
I want to say that some more eyes that are built weird like that. Demon Hunter. Most of the main characters in Demon Hunter, outside of like Tanjiro, have that kind of eye style. To be fair, though, in Demon Hunter, it's meant to be unsettling because every character in Demon Hunter is unhinged.
This doesn't creep me out the same way as this does. Because like this, like, yeah, like I could kind of see the butterfly being the eye line. It's a little weird that there's a blue dot underneath it, but like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it looks like the reflective thing on the top there. Like, that's supposed to be just like light reflecting or whatever. That looks like that's supposed to be her pupils.
Well, I can tell you that she's not judging your soul because God said not to do that.
Which way is she looking? Where is she looking, Cirrus?
Forward.
Which, up, down? Directly into the camera? Where is she looking?
Directly into the camera.
Yes, Axe was saying the white thing is eye shine. I know it's supposed to be eye shine, but like, it looks like that's where she's looking. But then she's also got Cthulhu in the bottom.
You have Cthulhu in your bottom.
I do have Cthulhu in my bottom. And if you'd like to have Cthulhu in your bottom, go to patreon.com/ViceRhino. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Hey, it was a perfect time for it.
If only Vice Rhino would read chat. I did read chat. I read Axo telling me that the white thing is eye shine. I just don't read all the chat. I'm sorry that I don't read every single chat message because I only have so much attention.
Are you saying your attention doesn't span that far?
I'm saying my attention might be in deficit because I'm hyperactive with that disorder. Actually, it's kind of bad for me. The reason I was so late in the diagnosis with that, because like I was like 36, 37 or something when I was diagnosed. It's because I've got the typical female presentation where the hyperactivity is contained within my brain. I can sit still for a very long time. I'm fine sitting still, but my brain can't concentrate on one thing at a time. It's going to be going a million miles. The reason I listen to so many fucking podcasts is just to get my brain to shut up for a second.
Hey, me too.
Yeah. You should get yourself diagnosed.
I wish I had the money to do that.
Oh, yeah. It's not a,
and
not
I
a matter
have even less of that now.
It's not a matter of money in Canada. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're American.
I am too.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm in the middle of writing a script about how the United States medical industry is killing us. Or something.
Oh, Volpic says, I'm 45. I finally got my ADHD, it's autism and ADHD diagnosis in February. Congratulations on that. My partner is convinced that I have autism. I'm not going to say that I'm not convinced, but I'm also not going to say it because like without the official diagnosis, like there is something to be said for self-diagnosis, but I'm in a privileged enough position that like I don't need to make use of, like I don't need to be like, hey, pay attention to me because I'm autistic or whatever. It's just Quill trying to explain what sort of ADHD brain VR has. He had some ADHD brain moments. Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah, as I do. Okay. Shall we move on to some tweets?
Sure.
Oh. I seem to have closed my tweet window. Just a second.
I am currently trying to keep my stomach from getting angry at me by utilizing homemade beef jerky.
Oop.
It's made with ghost pepper and honey.
You're eating ghost pepper beef jerky to keep your stomach happy.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like something that you would eat to keep your stomach not happy.
Oh, no. It makes it happy right now because it's hungry. It makes it angry later.
And don't even talk to me about how the butthole feels about it.
The butthole's fine.
John73 John says, I know what you're saying, but my brain keeps hearing ADHD, and I think you're talking about camera specs. So, fun fact, there's a comic book that my kid likes. What is it? Is it Captain Underpants? I don't know, but there's a robot in it whose name is ADHD, 80 the number and HD or something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, this was a comment on one of my YouTube videos. Well, this was on one of my shorts. It says, I pray you realize it's your intellectual pride that blinds you from the truth of the gospel. Oh, yeah, Dogman. It was Dogman. Thank you.
That's why you just say, yeah, I am proud that I'm smart.
Yeah,
bye.
It's like if I have to sacrifice my intellect to be your religion, I don't want to be your religion. I like being smart. I like having intellect. Like, and I say that as someone, like, I know that I am smart in very particular ways and also very stupid in other ways.
That's why IQ tests are bullshit.
Yeah, I would. So here's the thing. I would probably do really, really well on an IQ test. That doesn't mean shit.
Yep.
It just means that I would be good. Like I would be good at recognizing the patterns that are there. It doesn't mean that I would actually be more intelligent than someone else. Intelligence is such a weird metric that it's impossible to measure properly. But like the fact that I'm willing to talk about that in a nuanced way means that I'm too smart to be a Christian, apparently, according to Matt. So
Yay.
Then we have Dale Partridge. We got a few from Dale today. It says, people are finally realizing that atheism has destroyed our nation. So things that have destroyed our nation. Pride Month. It's a fun little party. I don't see how that destroys a nation. Drag Queen Story Hour.
Parade.
Drag Queen Story Hour. So fun people dress up in costumes and read to kids. How is that destroying it? How weak is your nation that people being gay and people dressing in costumes to read to kids can destroy it? How weak is your nation? Abortion mills, that's just
we don't have abortion mills.
That is just Christian dog whistling for like reproductive health care. Which, like, that doesn't destroy your nation. That actually makes it better. OnlyFans is pretty awesome. Occasionally I subscribe to people on OnlyFans, and then I forget that I have OnlyFans and nothing. Like I never set anything up to auto renew, so it doesn't auto renew. The only one I have set up to auto renew is my partner has she used to have a foot fetish thing, and I'm not even into feet. She's just been told she has nice feet, so she was like, okay, I'll set up an OnlyFans, and then I was literally her only fan. OnlyFans, and it was kind of funny.
A fun thing about OnlyFans isn't destroying the nation. OnlyFans is democratizing porn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it actually does.
Like Pornhub is fun too, but it's more problematic than OnlyFans. OnlyFans, you can be like, it's still not perfect, but you can be more certain that your money is actually going to the performers, the people that you enjoy.
You can also be more certain that there's not somebody abusive that's making them do the thing.
Yeah. So Pornhub, they're getting better. They are putting procedures in place to make sure that shit like that doesn't happen anymore. They're not perfect, as any video hosting site will be. But like they are improving. They are taking active steps to improving. But yeah, OnlyFans is like if you can afford to pay for your porn. That's just the easiest way to make sure it's ethical. Legalize drug use. Okay, I got some news for you, buddy. When the founding fathers were doing their thing, there were no illegal drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You could just do any drug you wanted, and it was not a crime. So, like, people that are originalist, legalize all the drugs. So the founding fathers had them legalized.
As the founding fathers intended.
Although feminism, the founding fathers didn't intend feminism. But I'd say feminism is a good thing. Women having rights. Women, like half the population having equal rights to the other half the population is a good thing. I'd say that. It says, God seems to be raising up a generation of bold gospel-centric men that are turning the tide. Pray for revival. No thanks. These are all good things. All of them. Every single one is a good thing. That's not destroying the nation.
Sounds like he's trying to refer to pendulum theory.
That's a more equitable nation with, entertainment that people like.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a response to this... So this was fucking wild to me. I have been actively spending less time on Twitter recently. I've just been I've purely been logging in to get screenshots for Twit tweets. So within minutes of me logging into Twitter to look for tweets, I saw this tweet, and then the first response to this tweet that I saw, this was the top response that the Twitter algorithm said should be the first one that I see to this, was this person saying something to think about. Pastor Daniel. This is someone who leads a church. He posted a screenshot of someone else saying, conservatives wonder why you get called a Nazi. It's because there was once a group of people in Germany who were also against Marxism, globalism, queer theory, transgenderism, pedophilia, and degeneracy. A group who wanted to promote traditional values and nationalism. The difference is this group didn't call the people destroying Germany their greatest ally. So, yeah, they're just out-and-out Nazis now. Just out-and-out Nazi apologetics.
But don't worry, this person's apolitical.
Yeah, how is that apolitical? Like, hey, the Nazis were good, actually. That is not an apolitical take. That is, in fact, a very political take.
It's an inflammatorily political take.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, I have to pee, so have fun entertaining the people. I'm gone.
Oh, fair enough. I guess I'll just stop chewing jerky. I'll never do it again. Okay. So let's talk about things that are considered apolitical for, fun, just fun while we're here. So video games, very apolitical, incredibly apolitical, actually, which is why video games like Metal Gear Solid exist. The espionage story about which nations should or should not be allowed to have massive nuclear devices. Very apolitical story. I hope they never ingest politics into that. Hell, Mario Brothers, that story about a dude who leads his own private nation who tries to steal a monarch in order to marry her? I wonder what kind of political ramifications would come from that. Definitely no politics, though. Never, ever, 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 ever. It's labeled apolitical because apologists call them apolitical. Trish says, did this stream just crash for anybody else? Nope. Progress only says music is never political. You're right. Man, Rage Against the Machine, one of the most apolitical bands in the entire world. Gee, do you remember when Killing in the Name of talked about those who burned crosses or those who worked forces? I don't know what they meant by that, but it can't have mattered too terribly much. After all, they're not political. Species says Sonic. Yes. The story about a technocrat taking over the world and being stopped by an eco-terrorist and his friends that are adjacent to the law at best. Definitely not political. Never, ever, ever. Especially not in the Archie comics, where the Acorn monarchy gets called into question and Sonic and Tails end up being at each other's throats over whether or not a monarchy is a justifiable form of government. Yes, Sonic's definitely apolitical.
I like having the wireless headphones because I could actually hear all of that. So no, Rage Against the Machine, very, very apolitical. Yeah, for sure.
100%
apolitical. 100%. Yeah, no.
I wonder what machine they're raging against, actually.
Yeah, I wonder.
Brother,
my favorite thing is like
oats.
I know. I'm sorry if we brought up video games, so naturally I have to talk about Hollow Knight. Only game I've ever played where the character that you play as is, in canon, non-binary. They actually differentiate between that character and their sister, because the sister is the gendered child. So yeah, that might be why the Hollow Knight community is so wholesome and accepting of LGBTQ people. And
I play a game with a lot of non-binary characters and a lot of trans characters. Magic the Gathering. Whoa. We're getting an Alessia Who Smiles at Death reprint in Magic Foundations, and she is canonically a very old trans woman.
Dark Falcon, thank you for being a basic member. Yeah, basic. Says, nice Rhino onesie VR. Yeah, I milked it for money. I made people pay me before I put it on.
Jessa says, Vice Rhino asks Cirrus, is Tennis for Two political? Tennis for Two is one of the most politically charged games ever created, solely because it began the discussion of what is the first video game. Because Pong is often cited as the first video game, and it's not. Tennis for Two is often cited as the first video game, and even that one is in contention with another tennis simulator that was made on a fucking spectrograph. And that contentious title has been held by or vied for by so many people that it has actually caused something that I would definitely say is a huge political discussion and fallout.
Oh, don't even get me started on Tetris and how political that is.
Yeah, the fucking Russians made that
yeah,
shit.
It's fucking communism. Those are our... Oh, fuck, I forgot what they're called.
Justin Prosty says, I thought Tennis for 2 was made on a spectrograph. It wasn't the only one, though. That's the thing.
What the fuck were the things called in Tetris? The actual shapes.
I
know
it's
the
not
word.
called blocks.
No, it's not blocks. They actually have a word. Oh, god damn it. Tetramino, tetramino or tetramino. That's a very politically charged discussion, whether it's tetramino or tetramino. Because it's supposed to be like domino, right? So tetramino, but tetramino just sounds better. I don't know. That's a discussion. That's almost nearing GIF versus GIF.
I love my GIF peanut butter.
Yeah, so my argument for pronouncing it GIF instead of GIF is that in order to communicate in a written medium that you're pronouncing it GIF, you have to spell it with a J. Therefore, clearly GIF is the natural pronunciation. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to do that. If you have to change the extension to make it something that wouldn't actually work as an extension because that doesn't exist, then it's wrong. That's the wrong one. So it's GIF.
I'm just here to tell you, I love being a graphics illustrator.
That's a bad argument because
I know.
Yep. Okay. So that's the argument in favor of GIF is that like, oh, well, the word graphic has a hard G, so you're not a giraffic illustrator or whatever. Oh, another hat. Okay, I haven't done the bisexual hat yet today, so let's do that. Yeah, so and that's because like the word graphic is pronounced with a hard G, therefore you have to pronounce the what's it called? The God damn it, my brain is coming up with all the wrong... I'm like, pronounce the anachronism. Like, that's not the word. Anagram. It's not anagram either. What the fuck? Why can't I think of what it's called?
It's not abbreviation.
No, God damn it. Come on, chat, don't family. Somebody should have typed it by now. Acronym. That's the word I was looking for. Acronym. Yeah, no, so... If that was the case, it wouldn't be scuba diving. It would be scuba diving because it's not underwater, it's underwater. So it's scuba diving.
What are you saying? You aren't underwater.
But everybody agrees that it's scuba diving. So like clearly that's not a rule that actually holds. But yeah, the creator of the term insists that it's GIF. Yeah, well, the creator of the term can be fucking wrong.
Let's go ahead. Let's talk about a concept called death of the author.
That was
because it's the reason why I can still enjoy Harry Potter.
I don't know if I have you seen the Lindsay Ellis video essay on that? On
Death of the Author or Harry Potter?
Yeah, Death of the Author. Well, I mean, you can't do Death of the Author nowadays without getting into Harry Potter.
I haven't actually seen Lindsay Ellis's video on that.
I think I talked about that last week because I had the what's it called? I think it's Snoop Dogg wine from 19 Criminals. And it was funny because I think in Death of the Author, it might be one of her other videos, but but she made a joke out of drinking Snoop Dogg wine. Mm-hmm. And I did not talk to my partner about that whatsoever. And then she just came home one day with Snoop Dogg wine, like right after I'd watched that video. And was like, okay, I could do this. It was fun. Okay. Anyway, next tweet. We're going back to Dale. It says, imagine having a wife who secretly cancels out your vote and then lies to you about it. That's what appeals to Democrat women. I gotta. I'm sorry to break this to you. I hate to break this to you, but it appeals to wives of Republican men who have to pretend to be Republican wives in order to not be like beaten or raped or whatever. So
yep. Turns out we don't tend to have that problem in households that are voting Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Yeah. Whenever the next Canadian election is up, my partner is free to vote for whoever she chooses. She will probably tell me who she votes for. She does not have to. And I will not do anything to her to punish her for voting for the wrong person or whatever. Like she ain't voting conservative, I can tell you that, just because of who she is. But like maybe we disagree over whether it is strategically advantageous to vote NDP over Liberal. So, like, maybe I'll vote NDP and she'll vote Liberal. If she chooses to not tell me that, that's her choice. I'm not going to, like, bring her home and be like,
You've been a bad little girl and you're getting a vigorous spanking.
I saw that coming.
I mean, I probably will do that, but not because of her vote. That's a whole other issue.
I saw that coming from a mile away.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
That one too.
I mean, you set me up for that one.
I did.
How could I not?
Mm-hmm.
Sean Helfand says, I hope the New Democrats win. No, they're not going to win. They will not win a majority, not anytime soon. But in our riding, which is basically district, so provincially speaking, it always goes either conservative or liberal. New Democrats never win our riding provincially, so I vote liberal in the provincial election. For federal, though, our current member of parliament, federally speaking, is NDP, New Democratic Party, which they're basically are progressives. So because the NDP do win our riding federally, I will vote for NDP because they're the ones that push for the more progressive policies. They're the ones that push for the, like, actually paying for, like, having the government cover diabetes medication instead of making people pay for it out of pocket. So, like, yeah, NDP all the way, federally speaking. I would like NDP provincially, but the NDP aren't going to win my riding provincially, so I just vote Liberal because the Conservatives fucking suck.
Yeah.
Don't you have an asshole for your version of governor vice round? Yeah, that'd be Doug Ford. He basically wants to be Trump. But he's better at, premier. It's called the premier. He's better at hiding his Trumpiness than Trump is. So he's not in the news cycle all the time, but yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's trying to privatize our healthcare, which fucking sucks. Like, you drive around our town right now, there are signs on everybody's lawn that all just say, save our hospital. Because he wants to privatize our healthcare. He wants to take away the hospital that we have. Like, right now, like, there's a difference between urgent care and emergency. So, like, urgent care, like, I went to the hospital maybe 2.5 years ago with chest pains. And when I went to the hospital, the urgent care center just, like, is literally, like, a couple blocks away from me. They actually, like, gave me a talking to about how, like, oh, you have chest pains? You're supposed to drive 40 minutes to St. Catharines to go to that hospital for that sort of thing, because that's emergency department stuff. We're just urgent care. We're not supposed to deal with that here.
But you're
like,
closer.
So I'm supposed to drive while potentially having a heart attack for 40 minutes? Like, yeah, no, you call an ambulance or whatever, and, you know, ambulance is not covered by OHIP in Canada, which OHIP is our Ontario medical plan or whatever. So ambulance is not covered. It would cost me a whopping $45, which I know in the States it can be, like, in the thousands of dollars, but, like, it's still,
remember,
like,
the ambulance is not your personal taxi to the hospital.
Yeah, but, like, urgent care is for stuff that's less urgent. Weirdly. So it's like, if you have a problem that needs attention immediately, you need to go to the farther hospital away where something is more likely to go wrong before you get there. So it's like, that is stuff that Doug Ford has done in Ontario. Like, he's doing his best to make our healthcare suck more. He's trying to make it more like the American healthcare system.
Yeah, the one, man, it's so weird to me to hear.
Conton says, a radius of where Vice Rhino lives. I live in Fort Erie. It's my P.O. Box address. If you do ! P.O. Box or something, I forget what exactly the command is. There's a chat bot that tells you what it is, but it'll tell you where my P.O. Box is. That's the city I live in. It's a town. It's a small town. So, like, yeah, a few blocks away from the hospital is most of the town.
I don't understand Canadians that hear the horror stories of the American healthcare system and then go, yeah, I want that. And I'm not talking about the politicians. The politicians are liars. That's what they get paid to fucking do. I don't care about...
Yeah, but you guys have shorter wait times. You just have to wait longer to save up the money to afford to put yourself on the wait list.
And the actual recovery process for being able to afford the medical care if you go to the emergency room is you can't.
Oh yeah, no, I just go to the emergency room whenever the fuck I want. You were on the call with me before stream when one of my kids came in and was like, I get headaches all the time in school. I'm like, okay, do I need to make a doctor's appointment for that? Maybe. Okay. And then I started like, could it be eyes? No, they had their eyes checked not too long ago, so it's probably not eye thing. So like, I don't know, but like, I can just make a doctor's appointment. This kid is also a little bit of a hypochondriac, so it's probably just they're feeling like they need some attention right about now.
I duck-duck-goed something, and I think I have it.
What's that?
That's me mocking a hypochondriac.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Fennec says, is kiddo okay? Yeah, kiddo's okay. He's the kid we actually he had pain in his foot often enough that like we'd take him to the hospital frequently enough that we actually were told at the hospital one time, we're like, don't bring him back here for this. It's nothing. He just wants attention or something. So yeah, he has hypochondriac tendencies, but like again though, like because we have socialized healthcare, it can just be like, okay, let's just go to the doctor. Yeah, it sucks spending a couple hours doing something you don't need to do, but like it makes the kid feel better. Okay, that's fine.
No, there's actually stuff that doctors are told to do right now that is effectively giving people placebo medication so they feel better and don't come back.
Nova Saber says, is it duck duck goad? Shouldn't it be duck duck went? Sure.
You can duck go to the polls.
So Eric Hoven posted this meme, says, atheists, I don't have enough evidence. Let's see who's really behind us. Pulls off the mask. God hater. It's like, yeah, no.
That sounds like an anime, like a non-isekai anime.
I just, as a former Christian, I'm like, I became an atheist while I was like actively resisting becoming an atheist because I wanted to keep my Christian faith. I wanted to love God. But then I read about the genocides that God commanded and was like, I don't know that I can love someone that wants people to commit genocide on his behalf. So like, yeah, no, I wasn't a God hater. I was a God lover who found that God was not what I was told he was. Also, I don't know if this is even going to happen. I imagine Eric is going to say no, but Godless Granny has messaged me being like, hey, Eric wants to have a conversation with me. I'd like someone else there to back me up. Would you like to do it? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to do it. If you let Eric know in advance that I'm going to be there, though, he's probably going to say no. So I hope that I get a chance to be on Godless Granny's channel talking to Eric Hovind.
It's amazing that Eric Hovind...
I don't expect it's going to happen because I have interacted directly with Eric and he does not like me.
It's amazing that Eric would choose Godless Granny. Like, her channel is a smaller channel. Is it just because Eric thinks it's going to be an easy win or something?
Probably.
Even then it wouldn't be.
I know, like, she is fucking great, but like that's one of the reasons why she came to me is because like I am not confident in being able to think on my feet because like she researches stuff before, like she doesn't do live content or whatever. So like that's why she came to me, because I have some experience talking to people and like actually thinking on my feet. But like, yeah, I know I don't expect Eric is going to say yes to me just because he knows enough about me that I don't think he's going to want to talk to me. But like,
he just knows better.
It's kind of like, it's got to be the culmination of my channel, because like Vice Rhino is an anagram for Eric Hovind. So if I could actually have a conversation with Eric Hovind, that's like the culmination of everything I've been doing up to this point. Like, yeah, no, I'm like, to be fair, the reason it's an anagram for Eric Hovind is just because when I was forming my channel, I was just thinking of what apologist do I know off the top of my head. Eric Hovind, sure. Type that into the anagram generator. Vice Rhino, why not?
It most of the importance came afterwards.
Yeah, no, I don't actually respond all that much to Eric. I think the last thing I did with regards to Eric was actually a response to Answers in Genesis, where I made a joke about wearing Eric Hovind's face as a skin mask, and then pretended to kill the person who was about to call 911 for me having a skin mask on.
Oh, he'll definitely like you more after that.
It was so fucking dumb. It was so fucking dumb. I had ketchup all over my shirt and everything, as it was supposed to be blood or whatever, and it was cleaning off a knife after. Oh, it's so dumb. I'm actually responding so that was an Answers in Genesis video that was a 2-part video that they didn't make clear was a 2-part video in the actual video. I didn't find that out till later, so I'm doing part 2 now, and I'm like, I feel like I have to be unhinged again, but I don't know what to do for this one. I don't know. It is what it is. So yeah, I might combine the two into one video at some point, but I'm that's going to be such a tonal shift from one to the other. Ugh.
You just make the follow-up the most humdrum basic thing possible,
Also,
that it's way funnier.
Also, so this meme is really, really dumb, but if you look, Eric stole this from Darwin to Jesus.
Ah!
So that's not even his original meme. He stole it from he saw someone else post this and was like, haha, that's a good one. I'm gonna repost it now myself. So, yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. Did he do the Twitter thing where he steals the meme and doesn't repost or like the original?
I don't know. I haven't checked the original because that would require me to go to Darwin to Jesus's page.
Yeah.
And I don't do that on purpose. It's 10:30 actually. Growlith is late.
Growlith, you are late, child. How are you doing?
Oh, this is a fun one. So King Quenum says, till death do they part, sealed the deal for me. Not accepted they pronouns. They tried to squeeze something in there, and I'll bet others ain't either. Movies are overrated anyway.
But
so they're not going to see the new Venom movie because it's till death do they part.
But they're plural. There's two people there.
I know. They don't understand that. They just saw they and was like, that's a pronoun.
I'm going to let Growlith out real quick.
That's a pronoun.
Sometimes.
Nope, wrong one. There it is.
Fucking pronouns!
All right, come on, YouTube.
Yeah, we got the fucking pronouns guy. Yeah, no. They is in the word they is in the poster, therefore I'm not going to see the movie. Because they is too much to handle. What do you think, Cirrus?
Please don't tell me that I just came.
Cirrus! What sort of weird fetishes do you have with regards to the pronouns?
Oh, woo. Oh, woo. Oh, woo.
Okay, Cirrus, calm down. Calm down, Cirrus.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
My God, Cirrus. You're just the worst. Okay. Wouldn't them be more... Till death do them part? No, that would not be more grammatically correct. I'm sorry, Jassa. You are wrong on that one.
You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
You've been a bad girl, Jassa. Till death do he part. No, because they don't want any pronouns. So it can't be till death do he part. It would just be till death do part. Because pronouns bad.
I am back to hear Rhino's best interpretation of We Are Venom.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
I mean, canonically, Venom did jack off Eddie Brock in one of the comics.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know. I have no intention of seeing this movie, but mostly because I haven't seen the first one. Apparently, it's good. I've heard this is good.
The first one's good. Second one was better.
Oh, this is the third one. See, I didn't even know there was a second one. I'm so out of the loop. I am so out of the loop.
The second one was the one with Carnage. It was good.
EB the Nerd says one of these days,
Father.
EB the Nerd says one of these days Rhinos will have enough Sir sound bites to just have a full conversation with his soundboard.
Eventually, probably.
Yeah, definitely don't listen to what I did while you were taking Growlithe out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, the best scene from the second Venom movie is still when Carnage is about to get married, and he looks at Venom and goes, "I'm going to kill you, father," and then looks over at the Catholic priest marrying them. "Not you, father, him, father."
Okay, that I could see that being pretty funny. Okay, maybe I'll see it just for that. Maybe. No promises.
I mean, movies are pretty small time investments.
Hey, Sorbs says Biden called his opposition. Biden called his opposition garbage. Hillary called us deplorable. Trump calls us American.
So what does Trump call his opposition though? What does Trump say he wants to do with his opposition?
The enemy within. I want to use the military against the enemy within. Yeah.
If we're gonna do the spades a spade, apples to apples thing, then also, let's talk about what we call our oppositions.
Also, like, Biden called his opposition garbage. No, he said that it was garbage to refer to Puerto Ricans as garbage. Basically.
Even if he called Trump supporters garbage.
Okay. We haven't mentioned up till now, but like, Trump held a fucking Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden. Okay, can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
They had that guy up there literally making racist jokes all over the place. He called Puerto Ricans garbage. And Trump was like, "Yeah, no, I just didn't know who that guy was." Like,
that's the same fucking thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to do when she was like, I didn't know who Nick Fuentes was.
Then get people to vet your shit. You're supposed to be professionals. Like, a guy wearing a fucking Rhino onesie, do a better job at vetting my guests than the fucking Republican Party, apparently.
You never vetted me. I just kind of showed up.
I vetted you. Just because you didn't see the process doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Nope, I didn't see it. Never happened.
Yeah, like there's like maybe 2 people that I've had on my channel that I'm like, okay, never again. And even then, it's like, it's not necessarily anything that they said on the channel. It's stuff that happened outside that I'm like, okay, not comfortable associating with that person again. Oh, speaking of which, I am now provisionally accredited by the Creator Accountability Network. Won't be on this one because I don't have it ready, but I have a statement that I have to read in order to like meet my requirements for accreditation there. I know you were looking into that process.
I was scheduled for one of the days, and that was on a Thursday, and then that was part of the downward spiraling process because that was the day that I had to take Saki to the emergency room.
Yeah,
so
no, I'm sure they will be more than happy to reschedule for you. I've been a bit flaky with some of their stuff too. Like they sent me a link to sign their paperwork like 3 weeks before I actually signed it. But
yeah, I've been in email contact with them about rescheduling. I just haven't selected an actual date yet because November's filled to the brim with shit.
Yeah, they're a really good organization. They do some good shit, but basically, if I do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, like this,
you've been a bad little girl and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now.
Basically, if I've ever done anything that makes you feel like I'm attacking you or whatever, like I'm creating an unsafe space, you can report me to the Creator Accountability Network, and then they will like take actions to make sure that like either that gets corrected or I get rejected from their credentialing process. So like, I like what they're doing. And what reminded me of that was like me talking about people I've had on my channel is like the specific person I'm thinking of, their fall from grace is what kind of sparked the creation of the Creator Accountability Network in the first place. So
yeah, you've talked about them.
Yeah,
you've talked about that.
Yeah, I think we talked about that when we interviewed Thomas Smith and Lydia.
I think so.
Yeah, because it was Andrew, the lawyer guy. He did some pretty nasty shit with when he he basically tried to unilaterally take over opening arguments, but he lost that in court, and so now Thomas has it again. Anyway,
yeah. Man, that sounds like other shit that we've dealt with in other sides of the community.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, that's part of why, like, I signed up for this, because I'm like, I want my audience to know that, like, if I do ever do anything that makes them uncomfortable, like, we make a lot of lewd jokes.
We do.
But, like, if I cross a line, I want you to have somewhere to go where you can report it and be like, okay, that's a line. Don't cross that again. So I can be like, okay, I have learned something. I shall now grow and not cross that line again. Because their whole thing is restorative justice rather than retributive. So it's like they want people to, like, instead of just like, oh, let's cancel you completely because you made one mistake, it can be like, okay, you've made this mistake. Let's learn from this mistake and carry on from here.
And do better next time.
Yeah. And there's also a protective element for me. So, like, if some... Like, if a YouTuber that I respond to finds out that I'm credentialed by the Creator Accountability Network and they mobilize their audience to, like, do false reports against me, there's an investigation process where they can be like, okay, no, there doesn't seem to be anything to these reports. So I'm not really worried about no, not Andrew Seidel. It is not Andrew Seidel. Fuck, I forget his last name. It's the guy who was doing opening arguments with Thomas Smith, like, years ago. Andrew Torres. And, like, I interviewed him on my main channel, and yeah, he ain't coming back.
Yeah, not after.
There have been sexual assault allegations that have been found to be credible. And it's like, not someone I want to associate with anymore. Bye-bye.
That's bad as shit.
Andrew Seidel, as far as I know, still a good guy. Anyway, we got another hat. Ugh, okay. I don't think I've done the squid hat for a while, so let's do squid hat. Yeah.
You're a kid now.
I'm a kid now. What?
You're a squid now.
I'm a squid now. Yeah,
You're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kid, you're a squid. You've never seen the Splatoon commercial?
No, I haven't seen the Splatoon commercial.
Guys, we need to make Vice Rhino watch the Splatoon commercials.
I don't watch commercials anymore. I pay for my streaming services.
Yeah, but this one's a meme.
Okay. Benny Schetz says, off-color comments by a non-Christian are not the same as the slaughter of innocent children, the mutilation of children, and the decimation of a nation. You have to lack any ability to discern to think of an off-color comment is even in the same ballpark. So this was his response to someone pointing out that the guy making racist jokes at the Madison Square Garden rally was being a racist piece of shit. And, like, the fact that, like, if a Democrat did that, all of the Democrats would unify and be like, hey, that's not acceptable. We don't agree with that. That guy doesn't represent us, and we're not going to invite him to anything ever again, and he should probably resign.
Wait, I'm confused. Vice Rhino, when did we lose 10% of our country's mass? When did that happen?
Okay.
When did we lose 10% of our country's population?
Okay, Mr. Using the technical definition of decimation.
He said decimate!
Fuck off with that noise. We know what decimate means in the modern parlance, okay? Yes, the technical act of decimation was when a Roman legion killed 10% of their own troops as a punishment sort of thing. And so it's not like they were completely destroyed. But it is still pretty bad. But, like, that's not what that word means nowadays.
I don't believe you.
Anyway, like, yeah, no, but it just is telling. No, decimation is not when 90% was destroyed. It was a punishment for Roman legions who I don't know, lost in Ballot. I forget the exact specifics.
No,
but
it's 10. It's definitely 10%
it's
because
10% because deca means 10.
In the story of World War Z, Russia actually begins doing the decimations again to their own troops.
I'm sorry, Cyrus. That's World War Z.
I just don't
I'm
care.
Canadian here. It is
That's
World War
so
Z.
cool. I'm going to decimate your belongings. 10% of them will be going to me, or will be burned.
Yeah, but this was Benny Schetz responding to that, like, clips of that guy making like really nasty comments about people that aren't white. It was just racism, just blatant racism is what it was.
He just
And so
really likes racism.
Yeah, and so he's like, you know what? They might be racist, but I'm willing to tolerate that if they're going to fight against bodily autonomy for women.
It's okay to be racist as long as you want to control people's bodies.
And the mutilation of children, I assume that's referring to trans things, which we covered before.
Referring to trans things.
Yeah, we covered that before, where the vast majority of gender affirming surgeries that are performed on minors are done on cis minors, not trans minors. And if you really want to talk about the mutilation of children, how many kids are circumcised without reason?
All of them?
A bunch of them.
That's doing the Piccolo meme.
Like, okay, sure. I don't know what that is. But yeah, no, I feel very fortunate in that. And it was so my mother is very devoted Christian, and it was her Christian sensibilities that were like, no, I'm not going to circumcise my babies, because her thought was that, like, if God wanted my kids to not have a foreskin, he would have not put the foreskin
removed
there.
Their foreskin.
He would have not made the foreskin in the first place. So why would I need to do that for God or whatever? So, like, she had me not circumcised because of that, and I am very grateful for that. And I don't understand why it, like, like the arguments against it, like, sure, there is a bit of a protective effect against certain STIs. You know what is an even bigger protective effect against STIs?
Personal
using condoms.
fucking hygiene.
Personal hygiene, using condoms, sex education.
Teach your kid
that does
to
a
wash
lot
their
better.
dick.
Does a lot better than circumcising people. The thing, yeah, no, like, it's easier to clean a circumcised penis. It's not hard to clean an uncircumcised one. Speaking from experience, you just pull it back a little bit. You go like scrubby, scrubby, scrubby a little bit. It actually hurts a little bit to scrubby because it's not been desensitized from not having the protective skin there. But, like, not being desensitized is kind of nice, if I may say so. I like being able to feel shit down there.
Yeah.
Also, like, just fucking, okay. I discovered this as a teenager because I was a very horny teenager. Just fucking masturbate in the shower. That cleans it. It's a scrubbing action.
It is a scrubbing action.
You get some soap in there as a lube, you scrub away.
Oh, no, you do not use soap. That shit's painful.
What kind of soap do you use?
Just regular fucking Olay and shit. But no, like, that stuff gets in your urethra. I have never had soap be painful in my urethra. I have gotten shampoo there. I had this brilliant idea once, only once. It was like, shampoo washes your hair. Maybe it can wash the pubes. It'll make it a little softer, make it easier to tame down there. Ooh, it fucking burned. But, like, soap? No. Just normal soap is fine. I don't know how you're burning your urethra with normal soap. I don't know how 12-year-old me did it either, but I haven't repeated the action in 20 years.
Okay, get better at washing your dick, Cirrus, because, like, normal soap is fine. I don't know what to say here.
I still wash my dick. I just don't masturbate with the soap.
I don't know. It's nice and slippery. It has never burned me. Only shampoo has ever burned me, and I made that mistake once and only once.
Just also don't do it in a bubble bath. That's also probably bad.
Apparently Stoff uses shampoo on the pubes. No, I don't use shampoo. Like, maybe it was only one specific shampoo, but, like, I'm not trying that again.
I don't have the pubes to shampoo.
Like I said, that was a one-time mistake. I did not need to make that mistake more than once. But yeah, no, it's not hard to clean, even if you're not masturbating with soap. But not hard to clean. As far as aesthetics go, people say, oh, it looks better to be circumcised. I'm like, okay, maybe let them make that decision for themselves when they're an adult who what their penis looks like will matter to them. Because, like, I don't think a baby cares what his penis look like. Why are you worried about what a baby's penis looks like? Like, I don't make decisions to permanently alter my children's body because I don't like how their penis looks. Like, that's just creepy. That's just weird. I don't know. Okay, anyway. It's Republicans being weird again, is Benny Shet's this tweet.
Yay.
Oh yeah, and that was the last one. So there we go.
We got to end on the conversation about soap in your under area.
We get to end on the conversation of soapy urethras. I mean, that's where we get to end. But I'm actually gonna have to force this on you guys because when I closed the tweets, the thing that showed up.
And when Dad gets home, you know what he says?
Not that one. Not that one. No, go away.
You've
go
been
away.
a bad girl.
No.
And when Tucker gets back, you know what he says?
Where'd it go? That is what showed up to me. The eldritch horror of the Cthulhu eyes. Just staring deep into I don't even know where because there's so many things that could be the eye line there. I don't fucking know. It doesn't make sense. But that's what I saw. So yeah, I'm having nightmares. So what I say to this Catholic mascot is...
You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
You've been a bad girl.
Been a bad girl. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me, Cirrus. Are you going to be... She's still cute. Fuck you, Stoff.
That's it. Stop.
You know what?
It's time to make cursed Luce.
No. Do not make me fuck the eldritch horror. You can make Cirrus do it because Cirrus thinks she's cute, but not me. Fennec says, wash your wiener. That's a good place to end it. PSA, wash your dick. Thanks for joining me. Are you going to be streaming after this?
I do not think so.
Okay. So I will find someone else to raid. Anyone suggestions for who to raid? Please don't suggest tiny YouTubers who stream 5 times a week because I am subscribed to one of those now, or following one of those now on Twitch, and it makes my phone go ooh more often than I'm comfortable with. Apparently Jake is live now, so sure, let's raid Jake. So yeah, thanks for joining me. As always, fuck off.